Welcome to Artistic Documentation. In these series we are providing courses to develop English speaking, understanding, and hearing knowledge. This is our second paragraph reading test. The passage described the taken strategies to combat with malaria. The reading passage and the lecture both discuss strategies that can be implemented to combat the spread of malaria. The reading provides explanations regarding the strategies, and the lecture analyzes the problems and limitations of the suggested strategies. First of all, the reading passage explains that different drugs can be used to treat malaria and that effective medicines can be given to fight the symptoms. However, the lecturer points out that such medications may treat the disease, but they won't provide a cure for malaria. Furthermore, the lecturer explains that the malaria parasite is capable of adapting to these medicines and that it will eventually become resistant to all of the medications. Second, the reading passage states that another strategy is to kill the mosquitoes and utilize chemicals or predatory fish to kill larvae living inside the water. The lecturer points out that the large size of the mosquito population makes this approach particularly difficult. Reaching all adult mosquitoes and larvae with chemicals or predatory fish will be an extensive operation, and it would be difficult to fully eradicate malaria this way. Third, the reading suggests adopting the sterile insect technique, an operation in which sterile male mosquitoes are bred and released to mate with wild females. The female mosquitoes will then produce infertile eggs, which will eventually cause the mosquito population to die out. However, the lecture points out that this technique is also insufficient to solve the problem. Sterile insect technique does not work well with mosquitoes because the radiation treatment used to sterilize the male mosquitoes appears to make them less effective or attracted to mating, which means there will be less production of infertile eggs needed for the sterile insect technique plan to take effect. Question 1. What is the main focus of both the reading passage and the lecture? A. The economic impact of malaria. B. The history of malaria research. C. Strategies to combat malaria and their limitations. D. The use of vaccines to prevent malaria. Correct answer is option C. Explanation is, both the reading and the lecture focus on different methods for fighting malaria, with the reading presenting strategies and the lecture analyzing their limitations. Question 2. According to the reading, what is one advantage of using medication to fight malaria? A. It completely eradicates the disease. B. It prevents the disease from spreading. C. It helps to fight the symptoms of malaria. D. It creates long-term immunity in patients. Correct answer, option C. Explanation: the reading states that drugs are used to treat malaria and fight the symptoms, but does not claim they cure or eradicate the disease. Question 3. What concern does the lecturer raise about the use of medication to treat malaria? A. The medication is too expensive. B. It causes severe side effects. C. It only treats symptoms and not the cause. D. It increases mosquito populations. Correct answer, option C. Explanation: the lecturer notes that the drugs don't cure malaria and that the parasite can develop resistance over time. Question 4. What additional problem is mentioned in the lecture regarding the long-term use of medications for malaria? A. It creates dependence in the immune system. B. Parasites become resistant to medications. C. It reduces the effectiveness of vaccines. D. Medications become toxic in water sources. Correct answer, option B. Explanation: the lecturer explains that the malaria parasite can adapt and eventually become resistant to the medications. Question 5. What method does the reading suggest for controlling mosquito populations? A. Freezing larvae. B. Using chemicals or predatory fish. C. Burning infested areas. D. Releasing infected female mosquitoes. Correct answer, option B. Explanation: the reading mentions using chemicals and predatory fish to kill mosquito larvae in the water. Question 6. According to the lecturer, what is the main challenge in killing mosquitoes and larvae? A. The chemicals are illegal in many regions. B. The predatory fish are endangered. C. The mosquito population is too large. D. Mosquitoes breed only in hard-to-reach places. Correct answer, option C. Explanation. The lecturer states that the large number of mosquitoes makes this strategy difficult to fully implement. Question 7. What is the sterile insect technique as described in the reading? A. A method to create genetically modified mosquitoes. B. A way to sterilize water where mosquitoes breed. C. Releasing sterile male mosquitoes to reduce reproduction. D. Using sound waves to disrupt mosquito mating. Correct answer, option C. Explanation. The reading explains that sterile male mosquitoes are released to mate with females, resulting in infertile eggs and population decline. Question 8. Why does the lecturer believe the sterile insect technique is ineffective for mosquitoes? A. Sterile males avoid contact with females. B. Radiation makes sterile males less effective at mating. C. It increases the risk of new mosquito diseases. D. It is too costly to maintain. Correct answer, option B. Explanation. The lecturer notes that radiation used to sterilize the male mosquitoes reduces their ability to attract and